It's time to take your seats, pull down your lap bars, and get ready for the Keeping You in the Loop podcast, brought to you by CoasterGen and Theme Park Insanity. All our links are in the video description below. 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys, and welcome down to Keeping You in the Loop, episode 7. Today it's just me and Joe, the regular hosts.
Hello, indeed.
no special today, guys, but we do have quite a lot of news to go through. And we're going to start off with a little thing about going on at Flamingoland. So do you want to take the lead on that, as it's your speciality on the podcast?
Certainly can do, guys. Yeah. So before I go into it, I'd just like to apologise for the post that got put up sort of last week in terms of that initial update on construction. Now, the information that we got, we weren't really in a position to post that, and with so many different versions of events kind of going around, it was wrong for us to actually put that out there. So I'd like to apologise for doing that. However, that being said, nothing official as of yet really has come out as to what's going on there. So we're a little sort of sketchy, to be honest, on kind of what actually is going on site. From the viewpoint, it does look as though it has stopped for the time being. But again, we're not 100% on that. So really unsure what to kind of call on that one, mate, to be fair.
Well, I think what's happened is somebody has relayed information, and they've put 2 and 2 together with a business being built, and obviously with that being Intamin as well.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's basically the consensus that's going around the community at the moment. But that being said, to speculate and to try and give false information to a site such as yours is touchy. It's touchy, but. This is the problem, right? So this is what I was saying. They've come out clean. They're building a 10 inversion coaster. That's done, right? So tell us what's going on, and we can let people know.
Excited.
Yeah, and it all comes down to the same thing. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record on this podcast, but come on, guys, we're here for you. If any parks are listening, we are here for you. These pages we do because we love the industry. We love your theme parks. We love your rides. Some people don't love the rides. Some people just like the theming, the immersiveness, and the point that, but sound like someone, and the way that it takes you away from everyday life. Now, the reason why we report on these things is because we're excited to see what's coming up. So just bloody tell us, put us on your press list, and let us know.
Exactly, and then we can get that information out there. We can get everybody else excited and psyched up for it, and just generally get your audience going. Because, as Luke said, people want to know exactly what's going on. They're interested. We're interested. We want to cover this and show people
invested.
Exactly we are, and we want to show them exactly what they can look forward to. So come on, guys. If you are listening, please let us know what's happening.
It'd be nice. It would be nice.
Definitely.
What else is nice as well is what's going on at Blackpool.
Oh, hell yeah, definitely. Tell us more about that.
So Blackpool Central Development. So I might butcher the name. Developer Nikal is targeting autumn 2019. So that's already gone. The submission of a £300 million Blackpool Central development. So the go-ahead has been given.
It has.
So in December, Blackpool Council revealed plans for a 1.3 million square feet leisure-led scheme on 17-acre site around Blackpool Central Station, set to be developed by Nikal and Media Invest Entertainment. The development is centred on a plot bound by Bonny Street and Chapel Street, which is Central Drive. So for you guys that have been to Blackpool, if you know where the Manchester pub is, which is quite an iconic landmark there in Blackpool, as you get halfway down the promenade, it's going to be around that area and to where the trams usually break off and go towards their old where their base is, basically. But the first phase, the master plan includes a delivery of an immersive flying theatre, a virtual reality entertainment zone, an indoor family entertainment centre, and a multimedia exhibition space, as well as restaurants, food hall, and 1,000 square multi-story 1,000 square space multi-story car park, and 150 bedroom hotel is also planned for the first phase. It's due to be completed in 4 years from now.
Wow. Goodness me. I mean, can you imagine what that's going to do to Blackpool's, sort of tourism trade and kind of what it's going to offer to people that visit? Not only are they going to have, Blackpool Tower or the Merlin cluster, they've got Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but now they're going to have this to visit as well.
Yeah.
This is going to really put Blackpool back on the map. I mean, it already, it's kind of done that with Icon, and we nearly did it. Sorry.
We really didn't. We're literally 5 minutes into the podcast and you mentioned it. Yeah.
Sorry about it. But, in terms of that investment, that kind of made that mark. And then the fact that they're now bringing this into Blackpool Central, that's just phenomenal. And it's going to be, I think, the first sort of indoor leisure complex we've kind of had in quite a few years. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not really anything out there in the UK now that sort of compares to this, is there, to be fair?
No, not unless you have like your Trafford centres and your other big shopping centres and stuff like that. But in terms of like a virtual reality cinema, I don't think there is a 4D cinema. Well, there might be a couple, but something that's in an entertainment hub like Blackpool.
Yeah.
I just want to go back on something that I said. So I said it was near the Manchester pub. That's not quite true. It's slightly right of the Merlin attractions. That's what I'm looking at. But it's behind them.
Right, cool. So is that behind the shopping centre that's at the back of there as well?
Yeah.
Sort of in that area, yeah.
So I'm seeing Blackpool Central Pier, and it's so I'm looking at it from the sea. It's just to the left of it slightly. So it is kind of around that area, but it might be about a 5-minute walk from the Manchester pub. So it's not that area that's being developed. It's a bit further up. But that being said, that's going to make... would that make Merlin step up at what they've got there? Would that... Because obviously that's going to make their stuff look a bit old and tatty and...
It is, yeah. I think they're really going to have to put something out the hat, especially with kind of the current attractions they have there. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it will spur them on to maybe do something special. Or, failing that, maybe that will spur Merlin on to actually open something new as well, just to try and compete with that. Who knows? Never know kind of what. I mean, going back to our 2020 predictions as well, because I predicted that the entrance plaza to Blackpool Pleasure Beach would change. It looks as though modifications are being made, so that's another one to tick off the list. I'm quite pleased with that, to be fair.
So I'm currently winning.
You are. That is very, very true.
And you have one. Now, I said Merlin would open something new in Blackpool. They're opening that new play school thing that they're opening up. What was it? Is it Duplo? I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Duplo, is it? Yeah,
it is. Yep.
They're opening up a Duplo thing aimed at play school children, which is great because it's bringing kids back into Blackpool. I would like nothing more than the whole stag and hen perception of Blackpool to disappear in a heartbeat.
I would as well, definitely.
Because it would put Blackpool back on the entertainment map, as well as leisure and and fun.
Yeah.
Because it's always got this stigma. And let's be honest with you, you all know someone who's been to Blackpool, been on a night out, and it's been crazy fun. But
yeah,
I think with the current climate in the UK as well at the moment, it's much cheaper to drink at home. It's much cheaper and safer to drink at home. And I think a lot of people are turning away from, unless you're a certain demographic, turning away from going out and staying out till like 3 a.m, kicking off and booting doors down and fighting with each other. And don't get me wrong, you still get a lot of stuff going on in Blackpool when you visit and you stay over, but there's areas you can avoid, like just past the tower. If you avoid that area beyond like 9 o'clock at night, then you're pretty much you're fine.
You're safe.
It's a weird town, and it's been struck by a lot of people not being in jobs and that kind of stuff. But I'm hoping that this is a silver lining, light in the tunnel for it, because it's going to generate jobs as well. And I think that is what the council
I reckon that'll be the main contributing factor to them actually probably, sort of actually approving this and letting it go ahead, because not only, as you said, is it going to bring a new demographic into the town, but also it's going to create that opportunity for new jobs and for employment as well, which I think is a very, very important, sort of thing to consider given today's climate and obviously economically as well. So I would imagine that's been a major contributing factor to that project getting, kind of the go ahead, really.
And I would say so. And in the second phase, I'm just reading out what they've put on the website. This is it was followed by a second phase featuring apartments, further food and drink outlets, additional hotel of 250 bedrooms, a public open space.
Wow.
Future phases have also been outlined for the site fronting the promenade, which could include more leisure use and apartments. The council is in the process of acquiring all the land included in the master plan area, and Nikal, or I think that's how you pronounce it, will then make an offer to the council for the land, which the council advises JLL will consider. So it's looking like this could be a multi like decade development. Like this could be something that goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
Over
Definitely.
like 10, 20 years. I can see this being amazing for the place. I really can. Like I would love it. I mean, I've always considered Blackpool very close to my heart, obviously, because I live in Manchester. So going to Blackpool weekends during the summer holidays and that kind of stuff it's a given, really. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's just what we do up here. I mean, I was in a local. So I work for a company that's in leisure, and I was in a local museum in the history section, and it showed people from like the back in the day going to Blackpool on the train and stuff on this little video, and I was watching it. I was like, wow. This is like all going to be everyone in the enthusiast community on the 15th of February.
I mean, for me, you know, my grandparents actually live in, you know, sort of Preston. So
oh wow,
the amount of times we went to Blackpool as children, you know, it was like a staple thing to do every time we stayed over.
It's like going to the shops, really, that isn't it?
Effectively, it was for them, yeah. And we've got so many great memories in Blackpool, you know, and at the Pleasure Beach as well. So, you know, we've had that connection ourselves, you know, sort of since a young age, and that's both me and my brother, to be fair. So, you know, to see this town grow and obviously become what it has been, you know, has been both saddening and obviously, you know, with the new development, it's also quite exciting too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but again, we do have those connections ourselves too, so we completely understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, I'm just really excited. I can't wait. And hopefully I'll be able to take my kids there, and you know, I'll be able to create new memories, and I'm just really looking forward to it. Now,
yeah,
like I said about Merlin stepping up, I wonder if the Pleasure Beach is even going to be considering stepping up as well. You know,
I think to be honest, I think they'll probably need to do to keep up with it, because potentially everybody's going to be excited to see what this new complex offers, and that could potentially also take away from Pleasure Beach's footfall. So I think with that in mind, maybe they, you know, I'm sure the Pleasure Beach already have like a long sort of 5-10 year investment plan anyway, but perhaps, you know, that's going to make them ramp it up a little bit more and add some new stuff in that maybe they didn't have there before. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens with, you know, regards to that for certain. I really am.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see what additions they make as well over the same amount of time.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So,
yep.
Orion is done.
It is. Officially completed as of yesterday, and pictures of the final pieces of track being put into place have also appeared on a page called Buckeye Coasters, a good friend of mine called Jeremy, so maybe go check that out and have a look.
Yeah.
But also, you know, in terms of that is a major landmark for the park, and that's one step closer to testing. So yeah, bring it on.
Well, they said that it'd be opening April 11th.
Wow, so we should be seeing that testing footage drop fairly soon then, in that case, I would imagine.
Now, I gave this ride some absolute jip, right? I gave it, so for anyone listening in the States, I gave it some crap, basically. And I was like, it's not the best B&M could do, but seeing it now and seeing it where it sits in the park and compared to like Candemonium and stuff like that, I know it's not Giga Candemonium, but comparing it to that, it definitely looks like the best ride they've made this year. This, you know, the new additions this year. Although Candemonium does host more, I think, more airtime moments. Obviously, you can't tell from not riding the ride, but it does look like it's got that more floaty element to it. Whereas Orion is essentially like a Fury 325, but light. So it's like a almost just like a watered down version, but a more streamlined experience, I'd say. It looks like to me.
I mean, it looks like it's got some great elements, and obviously that helix as well, you know, towards the end, that's going to pack a hell of a good crack in terms of the G-force.
Yeah.
But that first drop looks incredible. It really does. And I think you're going to come down there, you're going to get some really good force at the bottom of it. And then obviously you're straight up into an airtime hill, which again should give you a nice bit of floater airtime as well.
Yeah.
So I think all around it looks like a brilliant ride design. And from me personally, I'm looking forward to trying, to kind of get out to the States in the next sort of 3 or 4 years if I can, to try and get, riding on this, because I've never been on a Giga, I've never been on a Hyper, unfortunately. So it will be a brand new experience, but I do intend on getting to Shambhala and doing that prior to me sort of going there, just so I've got a bit of an idea of kind of what to expect.
Well,
also just to get on a Hyper, basically, or a Giga.
Well, you have done a Hyper. You've done the big one, and everybody seems to forget about that. It is
actually,
a hyper
that is a very good point.
And I made this point to James actually on because he was like, "Oh, it's going to be my tallest coaster." I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's a Hyper." He was like, "What?" I said, "It's a Hyper. It's over 200 feet." I was like, "Oh yeah." So if you think you haven't done a hypercoaster, you have. You just haven't done the B&M hypercoasters. If you haven't been to Shambhala or any of the others.
In fact, tell a lie. Sorry, no, I completely forgotten. I went to Europa Park when I was in secondary school in year 10, and it was the year that Silver Star opened. So no, tell a lie. I have done a B&M hyper.
Oh, there you go then. Where did that memory come from? I've been to Europa Park. Dude,
no, that was ages.
I've known you for a while now, and I didn't even know you've been to Europa Park. What the hell?
No, I went. Well, it was literally the year that Silver Star opened, and it was just a 1-day visit with school, basically. But you sort of forget it as time goes by. But from what I do remember, Silver Star was a bloody good coaster. So I just want to try and get back out and go on something like that again. Really, actually.
Well, me and James have been looking at our trip for May for CoasterGen, and we're almost there now. We've got some dates, we've got some money, we know what we're doing, and actually, you know what? For 5-day pass at PA for Ferrari Land included, it's only €100, which is ridiculously cheap.
That really is. That's cracking, is that?
Because I had a look at the annual passes originally, thinking, we'll be there for like 5 days, so we might need to get an annual pass, and it was €163, and I'm like, all right, so I'll just get a 5-day pass then. Like,
yeah.
That's crazy money.
Just shows that if you try
all
and
the rides you get included with that is ridiculous.
I know there's some cracking rides on park there as well. There really is.
But Shambhala is just one of them that I absolutely adore. I just love that ride. I can't wait to see. I've not been on it now for 2 years, and I can't wait to see how much it's changed, if changed at all, because B&Ms obviously have a history of getting slightly a bit quicker, over time, and trims stop working and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting.
So it should be even more insane than it was last time you rode it then, fingers crossed.
I hope so. I'm getting on that back row. I'm jumping on that back row straight away. I'm not leaving that back row until I've been around at least 3 times. So James, if you're listening back, dude, we're riding that thing. It's just incredible. It's another experience. It really is.
Definitely. I mean, are you planning on doing a visit to Ferrari Land while you're out there, just out of interest? Or are you giving
so that's included with the pass. So for €100, you get 5 days in PA and 5 days access to Ferrari Land as well.
Oh, there we go then.
It's a separate ticket, you see, which a lot of people don't know. If you don't know, if you've never been to PA, guys, it's a separate ticket to get into Ferrari Land. So if you buy PA tickets, you actually walk past the entrance to Ferrari Land, but you can't go in because you need a separate ticket and there's a separate turnstile. So just be aware of that if you are going. But if you are going for more than a week, say if you're going away with your parents or whatever and you want to go there, it's really quick to get to. You can walk to it from anywhere in Salou. Just stay around the main areas of Salou. Don't bother staying at the hotel because, quite honestly, guys, there is nothing to do up around the hotel. And if you stay in Salou, then you've got more chance of going out at night, finding a good cheap meal, some good cheap drinks, and some really nice bars. And it's a really, really booming little town. It's a great place to go at night. It's a great place to go during the day. There's a massive beach. The sea's great. And most hotels have pools as well in Salou. So unless you desperately want to stay at the hotels by the theme park, honestly, guys, it's going to be at least a 15-minute walk to get anywhere into town, or like an €8 taxi because they charge ridiculous rates on taxis over there.
Yeah, I found that when I stayed in Spain quite a bit, actually. The fares are quite high, so...
Yeah, but did you know in Barcelona there's no fee, there's no extra fee. So it's literally like €8 to get from one side to the other.
Oh, that's all right then. Actually, to be fair, that's not too bad.
That's good.
Given retrospect.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's massive. I was walking for 3 hours in Barcelona. I went with a friend called Danny, and we went to PA, but we stayed in the wrong part of Salou. So I've done it. I've stayed in the wrong part, and where you have to walk up Mount Everest to get to your hotel. It's not great.
Oh, hell no.
But the flat
Definitely,
area of Salou, where the main, the busyness and all that kind of stuff is really cheap to stay at. I mean, just to put it into perspective, guys, we're going in May this year, and it's costing two of us like 400 quid for 5 nights, flights included, and then it's your 100 quid on top of that for your park entry. So if you are thinking about doing it, that is probably the best way of doing it. Stay in Salou, walk, or just there's a little train that goes around Salou as well, which is it takes you to PA as well. It's like €5, I think, to get there and back. It's great. It's really good. But obviously, it's why people go there, isn't it? That's the main thing. It's the main draw for that area.
Exactly, yeah. Definitely. So yeah, no, I mean, just sort of moving back to Orion, then are you sort of quite excited to see what this actually holds in terms of sort of experience then, do you reckon? Do you think it's going to be a good investment?
I can't wait to see it testing, see a proper POV, and it's going to be nothing like the animation you got, guys. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it never is with B&Ms. So
definitely not.
just be prepared for maybe a slow-looking ride, but when you get on it, it's going to be boom. It's going to be one of them, I think.
Just
trains
like
look phenomenal. Am I right in understanding there's going to possibly be a pre-show for that ride?
You see, I've heard that as well. I'd be intrigued to see where to stick it if that is the case, because it looks fairly open around that station area.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it'd go.
Oh.
But
I've been watching Movie Land Germany with Star Trek. Well, guys, just quick one. If you've not watched Picard yet on Amazon Prime and you've got Amazon Prime, what are you doing with your life? Watch it. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's honestly, as a Star Trek fan, it's like
yeah.
The graphics. I kind of wish they'd bring back Next Generation, just because the graphics now are just like crisp. The phasers look amazing. The ships look quality. The opening scene shows the Enterprise, and you're just like, I wish this was now.
To be fair, I've not actually got Amazon Prime, but I'm seriously considering taking it back out again just for that. To be honest with you,
Did you know? Quick insider here. So when I was looking at the museum yesterday, one of the guys called Rick, so shout out to Rick if you're listening, he told me something that I did not know about, and I know quite a lot about storage on the cloud and stuff like that, but Amazon actually have a thing called Amazon Drive, and now not many people know about this, but it's unlimited photo storage, and it's including raw files, and it's included with your Amazon Prime. So if you're paying that £7 a month and you're getting your deliveries and all that kind of stuff, then it's included in your price. Now, this podcast is not sponsored by Amazon, but if Amazon's listening...
No, it isn't. other providers are available, but yeah.
But it's one of them. If you don't know about Amazon Drive and you're like me and you've got like over 3,000 photographs in your Lightroom and you need to get rid of them basically to make way for the new season, and that is literally just 2 parks, by the way, guys. That's how many photos... James went mental. James went absolutely mental. I think he took like the same photo about 900 times. He just used his shutters. It was like
a machine gun burst.
Yeah. It was in Blackpool. I think he was like stood underneath Icon for about 20 minutes just going.
It was just like a photo video, basically, like a snap.
It is, right? And I run through my Lightroom, and now on my new computer, I can run through it pretty quick, and it is literally just like a GIF, just going. If I could do one of it, I would do it. It's so good. It's like, I thought it was in 1 year, and it's done. It's mental. But they are really cool, and obviously I've got my own on there as well. But he got a new camera last year. He got a Nikon 650D, I think it is. He's going to shout at me for that because. I always ask him what model he's got. It's like, dude, you've asked me like 7 times now what model I've got. I'm like, I can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got a memory like a sieve with some things. I really have. You can tell me one thing 1 minute, it's gone out of the head me next, and it's not intentional. It just happens. And I think, it's just one of them. But yeah, no, I think moving on, I think Orion's going to be it's going to be a cracking investment for the park. Another good investment, which is opening here in the UK though this year, is Legoland at Windsor have Duplo Valley coming now. The park dropped an official opening date yesterday on their social media, and it's opening up on Saturday, the 14th of March at midday. That also includes the Duplo Dino Coaster, and further concept art has been released for that. We have put all of that on our page on Theme Park Insanity, guys, so go check that out. But to be honest, I'm quite excited because we are actually planning on visiting Legoland in March, sort of pretty much around, the opening time of that. So we should actually get a first look at that as it actually opens. In fact, we're booking that very soon. So I'm quite excited to see what it actually entails and just, how feasible it will be for my little boy to ride it, because I know it's obviously aimed at a much younger audience. But it does look good. And it's also the first Duplo dinosaur coaster, or Duplo coaster in general, of its kind as well.
Wow.
So again, that's another world first for Merlin. There we go.
Do you know who's manufactured it? Is it
Um,
Gerstar?
I think it's, to be honest, I think it's the same company that manufactured both the other two. I
Right.
can't remember the name of them, but I'm fairly certain it's the same company from what I remember.
Right. So I've been on Octonauts. Have you been on Octonauts?
I have, yeah.
Great ride.
It really is, yeah.
Did it feel like it?
It did, yeah. Absolutely loved it. In fact, obviously, the fact it's a 2-lap special made it even better for us.
Yeah.
So.
Have you been on the back yet of it?
I think we were near the front most times, actually. So I've yet to do the back row, but no, the front row was good in itself. So
Right, next time, get on the back. It's honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it for a kid's ride, it's really good. I enjoy it. We went the year it opened, and we went literally the day it opened, and the queue was like 2.5 hours. And I was like, right, okay, we're gonna do it just so I can be able to speak about it, sort of thing. No, the ride hosts are really friendly. It's a really nice area. Obviously, it's CBeebies land, so it's second to none, really, in terms of theming.
Definitely, yeah.
It's incredible. What they've done with that area, just a quick one, what they've done with that area is they've really re-energized that part of the park.
They have, because it was very, very dead. I mean, it was like Cloud Cuckoo Land originally, wasn't it? It's had the same sort of drab feel to it.
Yeah, it's so much better now. And I mean, even just going for a walk around, just to appreciate everything, all the work they've put in, or imagine all the meetings for every little detail that they've got in CBeebies land. It's just like, yeah, it's really cool.
Absolutely immaculate. That's why I'm really excited to see what happens with the world of David Walliams, up the top end of the park, see if that revitalizes that area, because that has been a dead area for a good 2 or 3 years minimum. It really has.
It really
so it's going to be nice to see a new breath of life, breathed into it. And we are going down for opening day, so again, we'll be able to show that on the actual day itself too, which is going to be good.
I can't wait for that. I'm really stoked to get on that ride, just to see what's going on and steal some jewels with Gangster Granny. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Something David Walliams related is winning, any day of the week anyway. So the fact they've actually made a ride out of one of his books is just cracking. It really is.
Now, my only issue that I take with this new development is that they've just put the dungeon in, so they've made that part of the area. I know it's a different section of that area, but it's towards that area. Now, my argument is, why didn't they put another building on top of where they had the welcome in, I believe it was, and then do the dungeons there? Now, we were talking about this when we met up. Oh yeah, by the way, we met up on Sunday in Leeds. It was a really cool day, man. I really enjoyed that. It was good.
I did too, man. Definitely. We need to do it again. In fact, we are doing it again this Sunday, actually, funnily enough. So there we go.
Oh yeah, we have something very special that's we're working on. Just we're not going to say too much about it yet, but when we've got
we're not.
more into it, we will discuss it with you guys, but hopefully it's something completely different. Now, a lot of people have done a version of this, but it's not to the level that we're going to be going. So it's going to be really cool. But
it's going to be something very unique. Put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, we were walking around Leeds, and it was absolutely chucking it down, and we were just discussing the fact that the only reason they couldn't do the dungeons towards where the Wicker Man is, which would have fit perfectly with the area, is the boat ride.
Yep.
In Charlie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact they've actually utilised that into the experience, so it wouldn't have. Well, you can't fit a boat ride in that footprint where that building is. If you would have sort of kept it in terms of just like a standard sort of set of Actiled shows, then perhaps you could have done that. But again, I see where you're coming from. It doesn't really fit with the whole David Walliams thing. It's a completely top other end of the spectrum kind of thing.
It's like a very Tim Burton-esque thing to do.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But having said that, you've also down there where the welcoming, etc., that area is. I mean, you've already got the sea life down there anyway, which fits in with
that's true.
Sort of the pirate area. But again, they could have put it somewhere else. Realistically,
do you think that with Wicker Man, they should have themed it more towards the pirate?
I'm surprised they didn't, and I think initially, I think that's exactly what they intended to do, because, and hear me out, if you look at the original logos that they put the SW8 on, they almost look like pirate sails.
Yes, they do.
And there was various other things in terms of sort of the boards they put up as well that led towards that. And then if you look at the plans, there was 2 theming envelopes, which obviously one of them's become Big Bob, but the other one's been dropped completely. So I'm thinking, did they actually go into the development of it with a completely alternate theme to what we have now? And then think, actually, no, we don't want to do this. Let's go for something far more unique, because it may have been that they couldn't exactly do what they wanted to do in terms of that world's first aspect with a pirate. So maybe that's why it changed to Wickerman.
I think
again,
they could.
yeah.
I think they could have. What they could have done is they could have themed it to a treasure hunt.
Yeah,
right?
actually, yeah. That's
Bear
a good
with
point.
me. Yeah, I've got a pitch for you here, Merlin. You could have themed it to a treasure hunt where it's all part of like Captain Cook, you know, like all that kind of stuff with the Mutiny Bay and all that. You could theme it so that you're in this area and you've landed on this island, and then you're going on a treasure hunt, and basically you go through fire. But you could still do it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You just have it, instead of it being a Big Bob, it could have been a big pirate, and it would have. I think it really would have. It would have been awesome. Like,
could have been a big R.
Big R, yeah. Big Arnie.
Arnie. God's got to do it now. Come with me if you want to live.
Get to the chopper. Do it now.
God, get to the chopper. Anyway.
Great material
Love
for a
it.
podcast. Yeah, so I kind of wish they did that, and I might actually do it in No Limits, you know? I might try and do a little video, see what the Wicker Man could have been.
Definitely like an alternate version, but yeah. So moving on, we have Energylandia. Now, Energylandia are obviously opening up Abyssus and Aqualantis this year. And as such, construction has been really moving fast on site. Now, the park shared an official update on their social media showing the first drop in the loop of the coaster. And to be honest, actually, it's looking like it's going to be a cracking ride already. The colour scheme works perfectly in terms of the area, and also the footprint as well. They shared like an aerial shot. That area is really moving fast. So I'm excited to see what this brings to the park. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, what the hell are they drinking at Energylandia? Because I want some. Because they just keep firing things up. They're literally, I said it before, they're playing sandbox mode on Planet Coaster, and they just keep adding new rides. It's incredible. But if you build it, they'll come, and that's still my motto, and it's still going to be what I lead with every time we do a podcast. If you build things, people will turn up.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of layout, looks stunning. It looks phenomenal. It looks like a really fast-paced, element-infused ride. It's going to be all over the show. More of that possibly when I have a bit more information on it and I've actually seen it testing. But from what I've seen from the previous rides, in the terms of the same kind of style anyway, because obviously it's a new layout.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm seriously considering now that they've. But I said this to you, Denial Leeds. I said,
you did do.
Should we wait because they keep putting things in? So if we go for Zadra last year, we're going to miss Abyssus, that and then we're going to miss certain things.
Exactly.
So is it worth waiting like 5 years until they've got like a Cedar Point?
But just on like our side of the ocean instead of theirs.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, yeah. I mean, originally I was planning a trip to Energylandia this year, and I pretty much got to the final stages of sort of booking things. But I think in hindsight, with Abyssus opening and Aqualantis, and then the prospect of obviously the park making these constant additions, yeah, I think it's probably better to hold off at least another year or so. Just one, to let that new area sort of die down in terms of the demand, but also two, to kind of let any new investments come into the park and sort of have more to go and visit when we do. And obviously the fact that, realistically, you're gonna have to drive out to the park anyway from where you'd be staying. So I want it to be worth the wait, really, and obviously ensure there's a maximum amount of stuff to visit. So yeah, I think we'll leave it for this year, and I think we'll look at it minimum probably 2021, 2022, something like that, just to sort of have more to visit, and obviously just to let that initial demand for Abyssus die down a bit as well. So, and
if you guys out there do have, if you do live around that area, around Energylandia, or if you live anywhere actually, and you're really interested in being featured on our website, CoasterGen.com, send us a message on all our socials. They're in the video description down below. And or just comment and let us know, and we'll get back to you. We're looking for photographs of rides. We're looking for people to do reviews for the website. Sorry, just doing a cheap plug here.
Go
But
for
we
it, mate.
recently added Disney to our website, which is amazing. We're working with a lovely woman called Queen of the Mansion on Twitter. And she's done a fantastic job of reviewing Expedition Everest. And hopefully Space Mountain will be coming to the page as well soon.
That's gonna be cracking.
We also have another massive announcement. If you guys know of Jammy in the No Limits 2 community, we're going to be working with him in the future as well. So, it's all looking great. But like I said, guys, if you are around any of the areas where you have a theme park, you're decent with the camera, you got some nice footage, or if you want to write reviews if you're passionate, you want to write reviews for anything to do with theme parks, let us know. Give us a shout. We'd be more than willing to feature you on the website. And obviously you can use that for your portfolio as well, which would be really cool going forward. So
Absolutely, definitely. And alternatively as well, if anybody is able to film any POVs for Theme Park Insanity for our YouTube channel, and you want to have that featured with full credit on our channel as well, definitely drop us an email or a message via PM and let us know, because again, it would be absolutely amazing to be able to share your content on our channel as well. We are trying to sort of build the channel in terms of the content we have, and that's something that we're working through, sort of coming this year as well. And we do have lots planned for that. But again, if you're able to send any POVs over to us, guys, we'd absolutely love the opportunity to work with you to do that. So definitely let us know.
I had a question last week, and we didn't get to it because we had the.
Ooh, go on then. I'm intrigued.
It's from the Realty Kingdom on Instagram.
Ah, okay. What was the question?
Right. I put, did you have any questions for the podcast this week? And he put, if you could replace any ride at Fort Park, what would it be, and what would you replace it with?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'll let you take the lead on that one, mate.
Right. So I've probably said, what did I say? I can't remember what I said. So if I was to remove anything at Fort Park, it would be Colossus, because we wouldn't need one anymore in the UK, basically, because we'd have the new one at Flamingo Land. Obviously, Colossus is now getting to the towards. Everybody's complaining about it, and if you're not hearing that and you work at Merlin, then there's something wrong with you. Everybody's complaining about the roughness of Colossus and the state, basically, of what it's in. It makes that area now look like it's old-fashioned. I say rip that out and stick in either an Infinity Coaster, a Vekoma, or even an RMC in that area. Just get rid of Colossus, basically. And I love Colossus. Don't get me wrong, guys. Don't start hating on me for getting rid of Colossus. But I think it's time. We don't need it anymore in the UK. We're going to get the newer version of it. So it's like, you don't need it anymore. And the record got smashed by the Smiler, so it doesn't hold any relevance really anymore. And it's just taking up a massive footprint. That footprint for that ride is huge in Fort Park, because it goes way below the path. And it cost a lot of money for them to build that ride. So I think getting rid of that, putting in an RMC would fit the area perfectly around there.
It would, definitely. From my point of view, I've not actually visited Fort Park as of yet, and we are, as I said, doing that on the 28th and 29th of March, which I'm really looking forward to. However, that being said, I obviously am quite sort of up on the park itself, and I have kind of had a look into it.
Yeah.
Now, in terms, there is actually a water ride at the back end near where X is. So I think X, personally, even with it being Walking Dead the ride now, I kind of feel like that's something that might have had its day. So I think we maybe remove that on the water ride that's near there. You've got a massive room there for a huge new ride. You really have. And I think, again, either an RMC or a new gen GCI with the inverts, I think that is something that would fit incredibly well into Fort Park. I've said it before and I'll say it again. So for me, take those two out and utilize that space to do that. I think that would be an incredibly good move for the park. And obviously that's adding in exactly what people want to see here in the UK, because the demand for an inverting wooden or steel hybrid now is so high. It really is. It's not something that we have in the UK. It's a brand new thing for this country when that does happen, because it will happen at some point. You can guarantee it. And I think that would be the best move for the park from my point of view. But having said that, as I say, not actually visited Fort Park as of yet. So I do look forward to getting down there and having a much more detailed look at exactly what the park is like, and experiencing those attractions as well. And who knows, my thoughts on that could change completely, and I could well go down the same route as you, mate. So
Well,
I'll let you know
actually,
about that one.
I was going to say, if we used both of our ideas,
Then you got 2 brand new rides there, aren't you?
yeah, you go
brand new major attractions.
three for one. Get rid of X, get rid of Storm Surge, and get rid of Colossus. That area
Storm
is big
Surge,
enough for
that's
Steel
it.
Vengeance. Yeah, that area is big enough for Steel Vengeance. So I think
Exactly,
yeah,
You got a free fall.
I like that. I need to stop fantasy booking Fort Park's new roller coaster because it's getting annoying because it's not going to happen.
No, but I think, to be honest, I think we are going to be seeing something towards the back end of the season. I'm still sticking with that. I'm 100% on it. I really am. And if we don't, then I'll be very surprised, especially with all that land clearing going on. And I know that there's been people that said that's not the case. And even Jack Siltstone himself has said that we probably won't expect that. But that being the case, who knows? Nobody's 100%. You never know what they have up the sleeves. So we'll see what 2020 holds in terms of, sort of investments and announcements.
Yeah. I'm just gonna Google on air. Just 1 minute.
Hey, Google on air.
As we like to do this, because Ride Sims 2 has a new simulator available to play. Hagrid's. Nice. Yes, Hagrid's is now available. So the motorbike adventure of Hagrid's is now available on Ride Sims.
I saw that I saw that advertised on their Facebook page. Actually, I was quite intrigued about that. So,
and honestly, guys, with me, I'm a patron of Ride Sims. I haven't actually been a patron for the last month or so, with it being Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So, but I am going back into it, and I've seen what's coming up, and even seen this ride. So our good friend Lev, he's heavily involved in Ride Sims, and his new control panel as well. Oh, guys, quick shout out to Lev Inventions. If you've not checked him out on YouTube, go over there, subscribe to his channel. And follow him on all his social. He does so much good stuff. He basically builds control panels for anything. So if you want a control panel, he'll build it. He's working on something now which is for everything in No Limits. So I mean,
wow.
Yeah, so the motorbike adventure, Hagrid's motorbike adventure, or Long Name Boy, if you follow us on Facebook, as I did a little meme last year, is now available, and it's out on ridesims2.com. So go over there, make an account, sign in, and start operating. I will tell you in advance, it's very difficult to do, but it's good fun and it's a good learning curve. And when you get through it, it's awesome. But they've got some cool stuff coming up, and hopefully we're going to be working with Ride Sims on the channel at some point.
Wow, that'll be cool. That'll be cool then.
Yeah, quick one there.
Awesome, nice. Right, there was something else you wanted to touch on as well, wasn't there? Tato Park.
Yes.
Tell us more.
So, the curse of noise has dawned on us again as enthusiasts. Vekoma are not getting the go-ahead at Tato Park right now due to noise concerns. Now, the easiest way you can relate this to is Alton Towers. Obviously, we've had Don't Look Down taken away from Oblivion. We've had certain things taken away from the park that don't happen anymore. And to be fair to the neighbours of Alton Towers, if you've ever stood on top of the towers during the day when the park is booming and it's like midday, it's loud, and you don't realise it, but you're in a valley and it does carry sound a lot. That being said, I've never been to Tato Park. I don't know what the situation is there, but to say it's for noise cancellations, I don't buy that. I buy that as something's not gone quite right with what they've submitted for the area, and they're working on a compromise, basically.
The concept art looked quite detailed, didn't it? And they had quite a solid sort of ride design, to be fair. So,
it's going to be a good ride. It's going to be amazing. But again, it's not one of them parks I'm destined to go out to, because it's only got two. It's got 3 rides. It had the Viking Log Flume, but it's not going to be Valhalla, is it?
No,
but and then they've got, obviously, I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to try to. That wooden coaster they built, which looks amazing, but again, it's a flight out there. It's staying over. It's driving to the park. It's coming back. It's a lot of work. So it's one of them. But honestly, if they build this for Vekoma, it might twist my arm and I might end up going out there. But I don't think it is for noise concerns. I think there's just a little inconsistency with one of the planning applications, and they're going to probably iron that out, and then it'll be done, basically, because they need it. Because let's be honest, since they built that wooden coaster, I didn't know about Tato Park till they built that wooden coaster. So
no, to be fair, and I didn't actually know about it until Theme Park Worldwide actually visited it on their channel. And to be fair, that was the first I actually knew of it. So
it's crazy.
But yeah, and I mean, I know exactly what you mean in terms of the towers. I've been up there myself, round about sort of 12, 1 o'clock, and yeah, the sound carries. It really
It's
does.
loud. Really
You got
loud.
X are kicking off. You got Wicker Man, which is quite a loud coaster, to be perfectly honest. You can still hear that on the other side of the lake. You've got other things as well, and it's very, very loud. So,
I've
fair
never
play to you
realised
guys.
that you can actually hear Wicker Man from the other side of the lake. I'm
You
gonna
can actually,
make that a priority on opening day. And, well, hopefully
yep,
it's running.
from the other side of the lake, if you stand there, you can actually hear Wicker Man running. It is that loud. It really is.
Oh,
Um, So yeah, no, I completely understand where they're coming from. But as you said, I don't buy it either. I think there's other underlying issues, and I'd be very intrigued to find out what those were. But also, hopefully, they can get all this sorted and get something brand new built very, very soon, and then that can spur us on to make a visit ourselves. So
absolutely.
happy days. Lovely. Well, thank you very much, guys, for listening today. Anyway, I just obviously, as usual, come check Theme Park Insanity out on Facebook. We've well and truly past 1,000 likes now, which is amazing. So
Yeah,
thank you to everybody that's
congratulations
been
on that,
following.
dude. Congratulations.
That's no, thank you so much. It's amazing, and for the response we've had, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means the world. It really, really does. For those of you though that might be listening to this and haven't actually, as of yet, gone and checking us out, we have daily news going on. We have Park of the Week, which is a big update series, and various other things too. So definitely come and check us out. We also have a lot planned for our YouTube channel this year.
Yep.
Plenty of brand new content coming to that in terms of off-ride footage, various other different things, and this special project which we are working with CoasterGen at present. So we'll give you more news on that very soon once we've got something more to kind of release in terms of that. But we do have big plans. So if you haven't subscribed already, please come over, subscribe, click that notifications bell, and obviously we look forward to bringing that content throughout as well. And you can also check us out on Twitter and on Instagram as well, guys. So there you go. Over to you, Luke.
Yeah, so obviously, guys, you're on our channel right now. Thank you so much for getting us to 400 subscribers. It means it means everything to me. So it's crazy to see the support we're getting just from doing the No Limits content recently as well. A little icon review did well. In fact, it did really well because half of you guys don't even care about anything we put out other than No Limits. So I appreciate you taking the time and checking out what else we're doing. And just to let you know, more vlogs are coming this year. We're going to be getting to Alton Towers opening day, Park the week after, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to try and film as much and take as many photos as we can. Follow us on Instagram at Luke CGUK. Follow me on Twitter at Coaster_Gen, and on Facebook at CoasterGen Official. So yeah, you know where we are. Links are in the description. Join our Discord if you're into No Limits and all that kind of stuff. We've got an RMC shuttle coaster coming up in the next couple of days, either today maybe, or probably not actually because the podcast's going out today, but maybe Sunday or Monday I think would be best. I'm not trying to make the roundup with it this week. I've kind of give up on that. Just a quick one. I've kind of give up on trying to get in the roundup. It's kind of a pressure to try and get in the roundup every week. I mean, we've done it numerous times. We've been number one several times. We've been, number between 5 and 4, like almost 10, 20 times. It's ridiculous. But I've kind of give up trying to release a video every Tuesday now. So what I'm going to try and do is when a ride's done, it's going to be put out. I'm working heavily with Wolf on a massive project. I'm not going to say anything about that. But as well as doing that, we have the podcast, the website, which is booming now, CoasterGen.com. Go over and check it out. We possibly have some merch coming in the next few months, depending on if the channel booms during the season. We should have some merch for you guys. So No Limits as well will be included in that merch. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the lovely thumbnail that I produced for this video. And yeah,
that can work.
I've been Luke from CoasterGen. He's been Joe from Theme Park Insanity. And we'll see you next time.
So we'll do. Take care, guys. See you soon.